It is 5:30 p.m. here on the East Coast, 2:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Today is December 21st, 2016. Welcome to Sports Fusion News. I am your host, Alex Feuz. I am joined right now by Jack Curry, Yes Network in-studio reporter and an analyst. Now, Jack, it's off season for baseball, so busy schedules. Calling up to see who the Yankees possibly might be getting in the off season. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Alex, and I think as far as the Yankees are concerned, you've already seen their two biggest moves. I think with bringing Aroldis Chapman back on a 5-year deal and then signing the 1-year contract with Matt Holliday, I think those by far will be the two biggest moves the Yankees have in the offseason. Anything else they do from here on out, I think will be minor moves, maybe adding a pitcher here or there to the rotation or the bullpen, but their two targets were bringing back Chapman as their closer and getting a DH on a 1-year deal, and they succeeded in both of those things.
So you're saying, Jack, that one pitcher will not be Jose Quintana, because that would be a major deal if they did that, right?
Yeah, I talked to some people in the Yankee organization the other day about Quintana, and yes, who wouldn't be interested in Quintana? 27 years old. Last 4 years, he's averaged over 200 innings pitched, an ERA under 3.5. He's signed for 4 more years, essentially, because there's 2 more years and then 2 club options. But if you want Quintana, you're going to have to pay. And we've already seen what the Red Sox gave up to get Chris Sale, a package of players that included Yoan Moncada, considered the best prospect in baseball. And the one thing the Yankees aren't interested in doing is taking the prospects that they've just collected for the likes of Miller and Chapman and those deals and turning around and trading them for a guy like Quintana, as good as he is. Now, when the Yankees talked to the White Sox about Chris Sale, Rick Hahn, the White Sox GM, rightfully asked for Gary Sanchez. And I'm sure that would be the same place that a conversation about Quintana would start, would be with Sanchez, and they would want a Gleyber Torres or a Clint Frazier, who are considered the Yankees' 2 best prospects right now. And that's just not an area that the Yankees are willing to go. So, as I said on our Yes Network Hot Stove show the other night, if I was a Yankee fan, I wouldn't get too excited about the idea of Quintana being with the Yankees. I don't see it happening.
Okay. Now, Jack, one other offseason move the Yankees made a few weeks back was getting rid of their starter catcher for the past few seasons, Brian McCann. Now, I have to ask you, why do you think the Yankees traded away Brian McCann? Is it because of Gary Sanchez? Because, Brian McCann is a great lefty power hitter and great defensively.
Alex, obviously Sanchez's emergence made McCann somewhat expendable, but I hear what you were saying. Towards the end of last season, I made the point on a couple of our post-game shows that a Sanchez-McCann combination could coexist. You play McCann a couple of days a week behind the plate, you DH him 3 or 4 days, and you do take advantage of that left-handed power. I think what the Yankees thought is they had the chance to move McCann, save some money on the deal, and maybe push that money in another direction. They like Austin Romine as a backup, but I think that McCann would have been a nice security blanket there, that even if Sanchez struggled, you have a guy that you can go back to. I think the Yankees, in some ways, did McCann a little bit of a favor. He's early 30s. I think he's 32 or 33. He's not ready to be a DH yet. He wants to be a 110 to 120 game a year type catcher. So both sides decided that it was a move they could make. The Yankees like the 2 big arms they got back. They're both younger pitchers, but they both throw in the upper 90s. So that's why they ended up making that deal. But as you said, lefty power at Yankee Stadium, that's something that when you part with it, it's a tough thing to part with.
Now, with the Yankees parting ways with Brian McCann, that leaves an open spot for the backup catcher. So will Austin Romine fill in for that spot?
I do think it's Romine's job to lose, Alex. I think you go to spring training and you see what shakes out. But Austin Romine did a really nice job for the Yankees last year in his role. And I work in the studio a lot with John Flaherty and on site at Yankee Stadium, and he's obviously a former big league catcher, and he knows what it's like to be a backup. It's not easy to get a couple of reps a week and still be productive. And I think Romine did a good job of that. I think the Yankees liked him. Like I said, I think it's his job to lose. They have another young catcher, Higashioka, who performed well at the minor league level last year. He's on their 40-man roster. But I still think I see Romine as taking that job.
Okay. Now, I had John Flaherty on my show during the season, and I just want to give a special shout out to John Flaherty, and that was a great interview.
Baseball, it's a fun time talking to him about pitching, about catching, about hitting. So I'm glad you had the opportunity to have him on. I'm sure that your listeners were well informed with Flash as one of your guests.
Oh yeah. Now, Jack, I had to bring up my U.S. history teacher in high school. Mr. Dolan is a big fan of yours and a big Yankee fan. And when I spoke to him today and told him that you were on my show tonight, he had a question for you.
Tell him, by the way, before you ask the question, that my mother's maiden name was Dolan, so I already like this guy.
He wanted me to ask you, what of these rookies have the best chance to make an impact on the 2017 roster?
Now, is he giving me the rookies, or you want me to select the rookies?
Just one of the rookies on this roster currently that you think are going to make the biggest impact.
I'm gonna go with Aaron Judge.
Okay.
I think that Judge is going to be given the opportunity to play every day. Al Steinbrenner, the Yankee owner, has already said that Judge is a guy that they want to see out there in right field every day. I think, Alex, he has some corrections to make with his swing, and I'm not a major league batting coach, but I obviously watched him last year, and you could see that pitchers were taking advantage of some holes in that swing. He's 6'6", 6'7". He stands very tall, so there are a lot of areas for pitchers to exploit. Ended up striking out 42 times and 84 at bats. I mean, that's got to stop. I mean, you have to figure out a way to get that strikeout percentage down. But since he's going to be given an early opportunity, I will go with him. I do think some of the pitchers, too, are guys who are going to get chances. That whole mix of Sessa, Green, Mitchell. I mean, Severino's not a rookie anymore. I'd actually have to look at the other guys to see if they passed their rookie eligibility. But Judge you could tell Mr. Dolan, Judge would be the guy that I'm going to go with. Okay.
Now, Jack, I also have to ask you, the new CBA deal, I want to say, how does this affect the Yankees? Will the luxury tax new deal and part of the new CBA deal affect the Yankees at all or no?
I think the way it affects the Yankees, Alex, is when I look at those luxury tax numbers, I'd be very surprised if the Yankees don't get their payroll back under the luxury tax prior to the 2018 season. They're not going to be able to do it for the 2017 season, but they have money coming off the books next year. CC Sabathia, they're still paying Alex Rodriguez, so he will come off the books. And I think what the Yankees are going to do, Alex, is reset, get back under that number, which I think will be 198 or 197 heading into the 2018 season. And then that sets them up for after 2018 to make a run at some of those prime free agents who are going to be out there. Machado, Harper, Donaldson. I don't think Kershaw will ever get away from the Dodgers. I think he ends up staying with the Dodgers. But I think that's how it affects the Yankees, is that they really do want to get under that luxury tax.
Okay, Jack, one more question before we wrap up this interview. Final predictions for the 2017 Yankees playoff team, not so really final year before they make the wild card or playoff push. What do you say?
Alex, I think you have to see what happens with their rotation first. And I will give you a prediction, but I think you have to see what happens with Sabathia, Tanaka, Severino, and those guys are supposed to be the guarantees. Those guys are supposed to be the locks. And then you still have a fourth and a fifth spot where you need a Mitchell or a Severino or a Green or a Sessa to step up. I see the Yankees in a similar mold this year as I saw them last year, as a team that probably on paper is going to win low to mid 80s in games. But what can happen is, who knows who the next Gary Sanchez is? Who knows if Tanaka has a better year than he did last year? Who knows if Pineda finally focuses more? And with that stuff that he has, you think he should be such a much better pitcher. Who knows if their bullpen is so formidable that it allows them to maybe move from an 82 or an 83 win team to an 87 or an 88 win team. And you and I both know, you win 87 or 88 games, you're in the hunt for a wild card. So that's how I see the Yankees right now. even Brian Cashman has called the Red Sox the Golden State Warriors. So I think people would say the Red Sox are the favorites in the AL East, but I don't think there's any reason why the Yankees shouldn't feel they could contend for a wild card.
Well, okay, Jack, I wish you the best of luck, and I can't wait to watch Hot Stove. So where can the fans watch Hot Stove and follow you on Twitter?
Alex, our Hot Stove show is on Monday on the Yes Network. The time fluctuates depending on whether the Nets are playing, but it's 6:30 or 7 o'clock. Thursday we're on, and then we're off for the holiday season. We're back on again January 2nd. And my Twitter account is @JackCurryYes.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Curry, for coming on today's Sports Fusion episode.
Alex, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Yep. Okay, Fuse Nation, I'll be back here at 6:45 with a brand new Sports Fusion News episode. Thanks for watching. I will see you then.